Did you know that nearly everyone, regardless of background or belief, has a story about sensing a loved one after they've passed? According to recent surveys, almost 99% of people report some moment, be it a dream, a song, a mysterious feeling of presence, that made them pause and wonder if there was more to this world than meets the eye. Maybe it's a bird that seems to linger just a little too long outside your window, a feather that appears in the unlikeliest place, or a coin showing up right when you needed a sign. Have you ever had such a moment, something so perfectly timed, so meaningful, that you couldn't shake the feeling it was more than coincidence? Welcome, my friends, to a topic that sits at the very core of the human experience, our longing to connect across the boundaries of life and death. Today, let's gently explore the mysterious signs that many believe come from our loved ones after they leave this world, from fluttering birds to small found treasures, and dreams that linger in the morning light. We'll open our minds to the possibility that love truly does not end at death. It simply changes its shape. Around the world, countless traditions teach that life continues in some form after death. In Buddhism, these moments are sometimes called blessings, subtle reminders that the bond of love and consciousness continues. In the West, you'll hear phrases like signs from heaven. No matter what we call them, the yearning is universal, to believe that those we love are never truly lost to us. Of course, not everyone is quick to accept these signs. In today's world, we're taught to question what can't be measured, to doubt what we can't explain. How often have you heard someone say, "It's just your mind playing tricks," or "You're only seeing what you want to see"? Modern science, for all its breakthroughs, still hasn't found a way to photograph a soul or weigh a mother's love. Yet the stories persist, shared quietly among friends and families, sometimes whispered, sometimes laughed about, sometimes held close for years. Many grieving people keep their extraordinary experiences a secret. Studies show that up to 3/4 of bereaved individuals report some sign or contact from a departed loved one, but less than half will ever mention it to others. The fear of being judged or dismissed as irrational keeps many silent. Still, the stories keep coming, again and again, across cultures, religions, and continents. Why do these experiences persist, generation after generation, if they're nothing more than wishful thinking? Time and again, people describe an unshakable sense of presence, an unexpected bird, a repeated dream, a coin with a date that matters, or a white feather that seems to appear out of nowhere. These moments don't usually bring fear or confusion. Instead, they bring comfort, a little lift to the heart, and sometimes even a bit of laughter at the mysterious timing of it all. Psychologists have noticed that these experiences, called after-death communications, rarely cause distress. In fact, they often help people move through grief. If only a handful of these stories are truly random, the odds begin to feel stacked in favor of mystery. Let's take a closer look at some of the signs most often reported, and if you've experienced anything like this, I invite you to share your story in the comments. You never know who might need to hear it. Imagine the house feels emptier after a loved one's passing. The silence seems heavier, the room's a little colder. One morning, a bright red robin appears on your windowsill, tilting its head, watching you with curious eyes. Or perhaps a butterfly floats in through your open door, circling the living room before darting back out into the world. In many cultures, birds are seen as messengers, able to cross between this life and the next. In Buddhist teaching, the arrival of a bird at a significant moment is often seen as a gentle blessing, a reminder that the spirit is free, that love and presence endure. Feathers, too, have a long history as symbols of the spiritual world. A single white feather found in the middle of a closed room, on your pillow, or even in your car can be enough to make you stop and wonder. Some people collect these feathers, treasuring them as tokens of comfort and hope. Ancient Egyptians believed feathers were gifts from the gods. Native American traditions see them as sacred, carrying prayers between worlds. I once heard someone say, "Feathers are the handwriting of angels." Whether you believe that or not, it's hard to deny the sense of wonder a feather can bring when it appears in a moment of need. Then there are coins, especially pennies and dimes, found in the most unlikely places: the crease of a sofa, balanced on a car dashboard, or lying in your path just as you're thinking about someone you miss. Sometimes the date on the coin matches a birthday or anniversary. There's a famous story of a daughter who asked her late father for a sign, and the next day found 3 dimes stacked neatly on her windowsill, the same number as her father's lucky number. These little moments, so personal and specific, start to feel less like coincidence and more like quiet messages meant just for you. Dreams are another common way people feel contacted by loved ones. Shortly after a loss, it's not unusual to dream of the departed, but these dreams have a different quality. The loved one appears healthy and happy, often delivering words of comfort, advice, or reassurance. People say these dreams feel more real than real. The colors brighter, the emotions stronger, and the sense of presence overwhelming. These dream visits linger, offering comfort that lasts long after waking. There are other signs too: a sudden scent of perfume, a favorite song playing unexpectedly on the radio, or a flickering light that seems to respond to a whispered hello. Sometimes it's the feeling of a gentle touch, a soft breeze indoors, or the unmistakable sense that someone is near. These experiences, whether called synchronicity, spirit contact, or simply the mysterious workings of the mind, all share a common thread. They bring comfort, lessen grief, and gently remind us that love never really disappears. Now let me share a story that truly captures the heart of this topic, a story of a simple blue feather and how it became a lifelong sign of love's endurance for grief counselor Julie Siri. Julie and her dear friend Ron shared a bond that spanned many years filled with laughter, honest conversations, and unwavering support through life's twists and turns. On one special day in Big Bear, California, as they wandered through the mountains, they discovered a massive redwood tree struck by lightning. Together, they crawled inside its hollow trunk and, laughing like children, shared a moment of pure joy. Inside that tree, Ron found a brilliant blue feather and handed it to Julie as a small but meaningful gift. With it came a simple, profound promise: "I will always love you and be there for you." Shortly after that unforgettable visit, Julie received the shocking news of Ron's passing. Grief, confusion, and loneliness washed over her. She found herself haunted by questions, missing their deep talks and the comfort of his presence. One lonely day, Julie wandered to the lakeshore, craving peace. As she sat by the water, her heart and mind finally quieted. She absent-mindedly reached into the sand and felt something soft between her fingers, a single blue feather, just like the one Ron had given her. In that instant, she felt his presence so vividly that her sorrow lifted, replaced by a gentle sense of comfort. She remembered their last promise: relationships don't end. They simply change form. Over the following years, Julie began receiving feathers in the most surprising ways, falling on her windshield, tucked near her front door, even handed to her by a woman who could barely speak, yet offered the feather with perfect clarity, saying, "This is for you." Each feather arrived during moments when Julie needed support, or times of great joy, just as she would have shared with Ron. In time, she collected over 100 feathers, each marking a sacred moment of connection. Julie's story is a reminder for all of us. If we pay attention, signs of love and presence appear, especially in times when we need them most. The lesson of the feathers is clear. Relationships do not end. They change form, and love continues. As we come to the end of our journey, I invite you to reflect on your own experiences. Have you noticed a sign, a feather, a coin, a bird, or a dream that made you pause and smile, even for a moment? Perhaps you have, or perhaps you will, if you allow yourself to remain open to wonder. The signs themselves may be subtle, but their impact is anything but. They remind us that love never really dies. It simply changes form, whispering to us in ways both mysterious and beautiful. Whether you choose to see these moments as messages from the afterlife or simply as the loving work of memory and hope, the effect is the same: comfort, healing, and a renewed sense of connection. I'd love to hear your stories. If you've experienced something that made you believe your loved one was reaching out, please share it in the comments. Your experience could bring comfort and hope to someone else. And if you're curious to learn more about the mysterious ways the universe communicates through signs, symbols, and synchronicities, click on the next video. You may just discover that the line between worlds is thinner than we ever imagined. And now, let me leave you with a question. If love is truly eternal, what other messages might be waiting for you right now, just beyond the edge of ordinary life?